The first reading is in Daniel 9:17 through 19. Now therefore, our God, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and for the Lord's sake, cause your face to shine on your sanctuary, which is desolate. O my God, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations and the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you because of our righteous deeds, but because of your great mercies. O Lord, heart, O Lord, forgive. Hear, O Lord, forgive. O Lord, listen and act. Do not delay for your own sake, my God, for your city and your people are called by your name. Micah 6 through 8. With what shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, 10,000 rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God? The Gospel of Matthew 5 through 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. We're into reading of the scriptures for the day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this morning we're having a continuation of the message, The Precious Truth. This is part 2. And it's always helpful to have a little bit of a rewind on the main points of the message of part 1. The premise of last week's message is that the truth itself is under attack. And also a reminder of history that truth has been attacked since the beginning. What is truth? In Wikipedia, it says truth is being in accord with reality. Truth is being in accord with reality. And the premise here is that the truth itself is under attack. We know that in the Garden of Eden, when God said, okay, I told you you could have anything to eat, but don't pick from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And of course Eve and Adam, they did, and then what did they do? They lied and covered it up. Since the very beginning, the lie began, the truth was under attack. We also talked about Jesus as the way, the truth, and the life. And the fact that he too was attacked. He was crucified. We go forward to the Roman era. And what was under attack? The truth that human life was of value. In the Roman era, for entertainment, it was the taking of human life that was their form of entertainment. In the Crusades, the lie becomes more insidious as we look at history. In the Crusades, it actually was self-righteousness that said we had a right to kill. So the line from the Crusades is, in the name of God, I cut off your head. That is the truth under attack. And now we fast forward to today and we realize that the truth is under attack yet again. Because we know that every time we turn on the television news, so much of the time is spent trying to figure out what the facts are. We try to figure out what in fact is going on here. And we don't know most of the time. And if we understand that this is not new, this is as old as the Garden of Eden, it is a human temptation to lie and then to attack the truth. So I'd like to see a show of hands as we move now into the message of today, which is the question is, what do we do about this? Okay, we're identifying the problem, but what do we do about it? I'd like to start with a show of hands. Is anyone bothered, and just a show of hands, no comments, but is anyone bothered that the truth is under attack? Okay, yeah, right. And that's good. That's good. And it seems to be a part of the human life that the truth is attacked. And so what we do about it, first of all, is what we just did, by the way. We identified that it's happening. And I think that we have had maybe a general sense of disgust that when we're looking at the news or hearing about the news, that no one can figure out exactly what happened. What are the facts? Just identifying that this is not new. This is a part of the human condition to struggle with lying and to attack the truth. That's the first thing we can do. And anywhere we go in our conversations, we can talk about that. It's important to identify that this is historically, since the beginning, this has been a temptation. As individuals and also as a church, being aware of this, we also have to ask ourselves, what is truth? We understand that it is being in accord with reality. That's the agreed upon definition. But for thousands of years, philosophers and theologians have asked, what is the truth? And that's a relevant point as well. People disagree. What is truth? Emanuel Swedenborg would say that truth is God. And that we can get so close, but we're ever trying to get closer to God. And so Swedenborg would say, to the degree that we are in nearness with the divine, we are close to the truth. But we can't, on this level, in this plane of existence, we can't actually grasp the whole truth. And so that's why we all, for thousands of years, have disagreed on what the truth is. Because we're actually not right there touching the divine. We're getting closer and farther away. So we're trying to understand it. So, understanding that truth has one degree. That truth, at its first level, are facts. I'd like just the facts, please. That's what one level of truth is, which we're struggling to find. The second level of truth is the relationship. You ready for this? This is the point of the whole message today. It's the relationship between truth, the facts, and love. Higher truth is the relationship between truth and love. So for an example, if one of our children or one of our nieces or nephews or grandchildren or even ourselves or somebody we care about goes to the store and steals juicy fruit gum, which I did when I was a kid.
I think I
Just
did
so you
too.
know. I thought I could get away with it. Mom saw me. She goes, back, tell the clerk that you took it. Okay, all right. So, let's say you have someone, a child or any one of us, steals something out of a sense of lack. The truth at the first level, which is facts alone. You okay, Theron?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
The truth, if you're going to deal with a child who's just stolen something, the truth at the first level would be kind of a cold, like, okay, you stole this, go back in, and come back out, and we'll deal with punishment. Here, I've got some water. Here, Theron, you can have my water.
Oh,
I'm not
thank you,
sick.
Thank you.
You can finish it. So a child steals something, and the first level of truth is to deal with the actual behavior. And to do it firmly, maybe even a little bit coldly. The child comes back, and the parent kind of rejects the child and just says, we'll deal with your punishment later. And that is a level of enacting truth, and that is dealing with the problem at hand. Truth at its higher level would always combine love. That doesn't mean a mushy kind of limitless love, but it means, for example, that the parent, from a place of love for the child and with the child would feel that love, but the parent would say, okay, let's look deeper at why you felt you needed to take the juicy fruit gum. And there might be different answers for that. And so what we have then is an opportunity for that child for positive change and growth. The child feels safe and loved enough, yet corrected with love, that the child sees this as an opportunity for self-awareness. So we're not just punishing and setting a limit, which is important to do. Not that I really know, I'm not a parent, but I was a child and I stole the juicy fruit gum. And my mother did it right. She didn't reject me emotionally, but she said, you will need to go in and you will need to tell the clerk what you did, and then you can come back. And I wanted her to go with me, but guess what? She didn't. I had to do it myself. I was old enough. So what we had was an example of discipline, limits, correction, but I never felt like she didn't like me or love me. She was correcting me. So that's an example of parenting with truth and with love. And that's tricky. I don't claim to know, I haven't done it, but I can tell you that was effective. Have I stolen any juicy fruit gum or anything since? No. No. Because she helped me to be more self-aware as to why I did it, which was I was feeling powerless at that time. And it made me feel powerful. So, truth itself, according to Emanuel Swedenborg, is not truth. This is another way to say it. Truth by itself is not truth. It must be married to loving kindness. It must be in order for it to be true. In fact, if truth is left too long by itself without love, guess what it becomes? Evil. Faith alone, without charity, without love, becomes empty, cold, and selfish. So we can't, any time in our lives, whether it's on the news or whether it's in our own lives or in our own self, any time that you're too sure of the truth and your manner is unloving, you're certain you're right, but everything about you is rejecting or not compassionate. Guess what? You can't be right. You can't be right if it's truth without love. In fact, Swedenborg would say that the highest level of truth and the highest level of love is God. So God is a perfect unity of truth at its highest level and love at its highest level. That is God. So again, what do we need to do? What must we do? Understanding that the truth must be with love. Understanding that the truth is under attack and always has been. What do we do? In our individual lives, in our church life, in our business, in the world, we must aim to combine what we know, the truth, the facts we know, with love, with compassion. If what we do in our parenting, in our business, in our church life, in our own discipline, self-discipline, in whatever it is we do, in our tasks at work, we can't be all fact without love. Then it's not true. So we must aim to combine the two in everything, and we must elect those in power who value the truth with love. If we have a leader on any level, whether it's local, whether it's state, whether it's national or global, all elected officials, we want to keep an eye out when we're voting for individuals who have both qualities. Because truth by itself isn't even truth. It's an important equation to live with. It's an important theological principle. At its highest level, it is God itself. What can we do? We can have a spiritual revival in this country. Now, the Christian church is really good at having revivals and holding revivals and getting all worked up about how important it is to have faith in this world. But I'm talking about a revival in the sense that everything we do is a Swedenborgian community. Whether we go on to a radio talk show and promote talking about truth and love, and those values always being together in everything we say and what we do and what we pray for. That platform needs to be of highest value because we're experiencing truth, and it's very insidious. We're experiencing truth at its basic level being questioned in a democracy. And we're spending a lot of time just trying to figure that out. Our platform as Swedenborgians can be a dynamic interplay between what is true and what is loving. We need to think outside the box, and we need to bring that into our world. As a concluding note, I think that any time, and I think this is the most helpful suggestion, anytime we face a problem, no matter what that problem is in our lives, anytime, we need to first step toward that problem with an attitude of mercy. What is mercy? Mercy is showing forgiveness and understanding when we have the power to do harm. It's an important definition. Mercy is showing forgiveness and compassion when we have the power to hurt someone, but we choose not to. And believe it or not, at the grassroots level, that's a powerful thing. I love the quote that mercy is the fragrance of the flower on the heel of the foot that crushed it. Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. Mercy is the fragrance of the flower on the heel of the foot that just crushed it. Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. We have every truth reason, every factual reason to harm and to punish our enemy, but we choose not to. That's powerful. Jesus said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy." Nothing is more powerful. Nothing is more powerful in resisting temptation. Thinking about Jesus in the desert being tempted by the devil during Lenten season readings. Nothing is more powerful for resisting temptation than moving from truth with mercy and love. So in our relationships, Be kind to one another. When someone does you wrong, forgive them. If someone hurts someone you love, be compassionate. Try to understand. If someone steals from you, seek a deeper understanding of why. If you do something that is harmful to another, ask for the Lord's mercy and forgiveness. Nothing is more powerful in this world than that. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.